Jamar.
What's going on YouTube?
Washington.
This is boy Marty 4 here once again. Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is your boy Jamar 4 here once again, and we're here to review this latest episode that came on tonight. Yes, of course it was tonight, of Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. This was a little brand slow episode for me. It was kind of meh. You know, I guess until the end when it kind of got a little bit good, but still for the most part it was kind of meh. It starts off with Rich and Ray J and Willie from Day 26 listening to music, or his new music or new album that he's trying to do, whatever. That's just the excuse that they have to get them together and talk about something that's messy. In this case, it's relatively towards Mo and Rich and his whole situation and how he's in love and how they're like, you know, I know the old Rich would be this way, but the new Rich is trying to change and shit. I'm just like, okay, well, I personally didn't watch Love and Hip Hop New York, so I'm not really familiar too much on how Rich Dollaz was in his fuckboy days. I can only really see him now, and he still has, you know, some fuckboy still in him, and some of the things that he says and does, more so what he says later in the episode. But I'm like, okay, okay. Like, I'm trying to see, like, do you really want to be with her? Like, I'm still not even convinced. I'm just like, what's her name? Moniece. I still don't fully believe that Rich wants to be with Mo because it just seems off. Something is not there. Something about the is genuine, whatever the essence of being genuine. I don't know what the word is right now, but whatever that isn't there. It seems like he's doing it, or he feels he's obligated to do it for some reason, or because she just tells him to. It doesn't seem like it's out of love to me. I could be wrong. Plus, they're not together anymore anyway, so who gives a fuck? But yeah, so we get to the next scene with Moniece and her son, and Fizz is out there. They're having a little play date thing, what have you. It's all cute. It's fun. All right, cool. And Fizz says that if he wants to know if Moniece and Rich are, like, you know, serious, how serious is the relationship? Because if they're going to be serious, then that means that he's going to be around their son. Now, this is a common. It's a obstacle that fathers go through with their children when they're not with the mother. The mother starts to date somebody else, and then they want to know, okay, is this person going to be somebody that I want around my child? Now, if there's situations where it's genuine, I'm worried about the child, but I don't want this to be like a Sierra and Future situation where it seems like it's not so much about the child, but I just don't want any other man besides me. Or it's like some sort of jealousy that the mother has moved on to a different dude. Is that they're going to use the child as a pawn, so to speak. So I'm hoping, and I don't really think that's what happens, but I think that's a common thing that guys go through. Like, they try to say, oh, I don't want you with him because I don't like him around my child, when really you just don't want her to be with anybody. So he says that he wants to meet Rich, and, you know, Moniece is like, okay, cool, we can do that. I'm gonna, hit him up. I don't think he's gonna be too fond about the idea, but I'm still gonna ask him anyway. So when she does, he gets upset and defensive, which I'm like, okay, this is that strand of fuckboyness that I talked about earlier. He says, how do you feel like what I do doesn't show that I love you? I've done this, that, and the fourth. I haven't asked you to do shit. Pause. That's a lie. You asked her to get that tattoo removed because it was the initials of her first boyfriend, so that's a lie. And I mean, I guess I can understand one of the points that he said, sort of, kind of like, okay, I shouldn't have to, just because I don't do this one thing, it shouldn't be all or nothing. But the thing is, the one thing that she's talking about is actually important. Okay, it's not just you that would have to do it because he's getting defensive because he feels like he has to defend himself all the time about the stuff that he did. But the thing is, when you're dating somebody who has a child and the child's father is still in the child's life, you're going to need to get to know the father because he's going to want to know who you are that's going to be around, his child when he's not around. It's something you're just going to have to deal with because it has nothing to do with your past or nothing, so you can't get upset if she's requiring, hey, you and my child's father need to work something out so that everybody can feel comfortable with one another, just for the sake of the child. And he's thinking I don't know, he just took it to a whole nother level of getting offended and some other bullshit. I don't know what his problem is. I don't really too much care what his problem is. But I was just like, I didn't understand why he was so about it. And she was just like, well, look, if you're going to have this conversation and it starts to go left and you react a different way, then this relationship is over. So she's pretty much getting an ultimatum. I'm just kind of like, that is kind of, I mean, I can't really necessarily blame her for feeling that way because, like, how you going to pretend like it's some big deal? Like, this is something that you just have to go through as a parent. Like, this, if you really want to be with me, you have to take me and my child also. So a part of, me handling my child is you have to be, friendly with the child's father. So I just thought that was a unnecessary ass ordeal that Rich was trying to make out of the situation. Just talk to the man, shit. It ain't like you really asking you to jump over a hoop or some shit. I don't know. That was just dumb. So we're just gonna talk about this little scene that Milan and Miles had. Honestly, I'm tired of seeing them. They're very attractive men, but the fact that they've always have to be like filmed so isolated because they don't really film with anybody else other than like Hazel or Amber, child. This is to just kind of attach to side characters, so it kind of makes them a little bit less interesting because they have to focus on their own storyline so heavy because they can't really interact with anybody else that much. And it's kind of like, okay, I'm tired of seeing the same thing over and over again. And I swear to God, if I see Miles or Milan in this Out in Hip Hop, call this hotline. If you know somebody who is struggling, y'all have been putting that same infomercial out for about at least a month. And I get it. You want to help people who are struggling. But I just can't stand to see it no goddamn more. I just can't, because he looks like he's reading a teleprompter and he's reading it text by text by text by text. And I don't want to see it no more. And so, but they're on this beach. And he's like, oh, this is cute. Walks in there. I'm like, that was petty. Because that was condescending as fuck to be like, oh, after you clearly see he done did, this work to try to set this up and he done tried to get with you and you wouldn't call in and all that shit. He gonna say, oh, this is cute, being condescending. Fuck you, Milan. Fuck you. But Miles apologizes and, he wants Milan to meet the family. And, of course, Milan's all butterflies and shit because he, thinks this is the next step and all that and the forth. But what I want to talk about mainly is the argument. Because Milan tried to say that, hold on, let me get each other's perspective right. I feel like I'm gonna say this wrong anyways. But Miles was saying he was upset because Milan wouldn't answer his phone calls and texts and whatnot. But then Milan gets upset because Miles didn't tell him what he was going to do with Amber. Like he said, well, shouldn't I have been a part of that when it come to you telling Amber? Well, he was like, well, you didn't answer my phone calls or texts. And and I'm just like, my whole thing about it was you can't be mad at him for doing what he did because you did the exact same thing to him. You know what I'm saying? He was trying to call, I guess Milan was trying to call and, get with Miles about the whole Amber situation in the past, and he paid it. Miles wasn't answering his phone call. And so then in turn, Milan was petty, didn't answer Miles' phone call when he kicked him out the house. So you can't be mad that he went and did what he was gonna do with Amber and handled it by himself because hell, it's not like he could call your ass. You wasn't picking up, so you can't get mad at him because he pulled a you on you. You know what I'm saying? But they all cool. They kiss, and he's gonna meet the family, and they're all happy again, even though they broke up anyway in real life. We could talk about Fizz wanting to make some music video called "Good Lotion" featuring Nicki. I love Fizz. Fizz is adorable. Fizz is, he has the whole father, light skinned, pretty boy thing going on, which is very cute. But sometimes he's just, he's corny, but I guess it's still in a cute way. Like, I can't really find much wrong with Fizz. Not that I can think of offhand anyway. But, excuse me. He wants to record this song called Good Lotion featuring Nicki, and she's kind of like, no, that's cute and all, but no, I got too much shit going on. I got these bitches trying to get together this fashion show with these hoes, and they fucking shit up, and I got too much shit going on. And he's like, oh, you gonna do me like that or whatever? Anyways, then they see Shonda, homegirl, the Willie Day 26 wife over there stripping and whatnot. Girl. I'm like, so y'all gonna really pretend like, oh, you just so happen to have cameras on while she caught her stripping? Okay. So, actually, I know I'm going necessarily out of order of the actual episode, but since I'm on the topic of certain people, I just roll with the shit. Since we're talking about what's the name, Willie and Shonda, he tries to tell her, oh. Yeah, I got out of my contract. I can do whatever I want to. Yeah, lying ass. And he was like, shit, now the pressure's on. Now I actually have to make that lie into a reality. Why would you even do that to yourself? I know he tried to say, oh, I don't want her to stress anymore. Well, guess what? Now, if you can't pull through and make that lie a reality, it's going to be even more stressful because now you still have the same reality that you had before, plus she lied. Now she don't trust your ass. Now you got two problems to deal with. So that was stupid. That was dumb. But luckily he made it happen. However, it wasn't until she already had decided to pop up on his ass at the studio and the guy with the dreads, Mufasa was like, no, he came to me trying to help me get out the contract because he was frustrated and whatnot. So she realized that he lied. Well, she was like, well, shit, fuck this. I'm going to do what I have to do. And she done got, and throw that ass for a real nigga on the pole. And when he found out about it, he gonna try to say, oh, well, if you're gonna do that, you're gonna do that by yourself. Basically trying to say, if you're gonna do that, I'm gonna break up with you. Boy, now, here's the thing. You can't get mad at her because she went and did that because you done sat there and lied to the bitch's face. So, two wrongs don't make a right, bitch. But at the same time, Shonda, as we've said before, I'm sure you have to obtain some different skill that doesn't require high heels and a thong for you to make money for your family. I'm sure you can be somewhere at a call center. Hell, you could be well, that might be a little bit more work. Are her and Nicki friends? Can't you put like her on the billboard like she was doing with Masika? Can't you promote her some kind of way? Can't she do something? Can't she model? The girl is pretty. Put her in the fashion show. Give her some money that way. There has to be another way for her to make money other than resorting to stripping. I cannot believe that is her only option. But she was crying and shit. Her makeup was running because they got into a big fight. You know how when couples say shit that irks the other one, then they want to threaten to break up. She mushed his ass and went outside and crying and shit. But they got back together. They was like, I don't want us to be in this place where we say these awful things to one another. Okay, girl. Just find another. I know you had to be able to find another thing other than stripping. Now, let's see. Before I get to the end of what this thing talked about, Omarion and April, I had no idea April wanted to pursue music. I didn't know she had any musical abilities. That's still, the jury's still out on that one. I hope she's not a rapper. Because I just don't see it. And if she a singer, I'm gonna have to hear something. Now, I discredited Monique, but Monique's actually got a little something. I was actually surprised. So, April, if you try to pursue this music career or whatever, we'll see how that goes. But it seemed like, she said, "Oh, I want to be supportive of my husband." They're married. Are they married? I think they're married. I'm gonna assume they're married. I'm gonna support my husband and everything that he does, but at some point as I get older, I want to be able to have my own time to shine as an artist or whatever. And I feel like you would support me. And she was just trying to say like, I want there to be signs or something showing me that I'm still, important, that I haven't been forgotten about, that you are still going to support me in my artistic development. Okay, while you having this, success, like when does your turn end and mine begins is where her frustration comes from. And I'm just like, I get that. But Omarion was like, well, during this time that you're down, during your downtime, you can be, trying to perfect your craft. Take singing lessons, sing in the shower, sing in the morning, write some music. He's saying do that, because otherwise trying to push you without you having any, I guess, honed skills is going to be almost like a waste of time, because we're going to have to end up doing that skill building anyways. So you might as well do it now so that when your opportunity, whatever opportunity that would be, comes, you'll be ready for it, So that was that. Now, this is probably the best part of the episode is when Hazel and, Princess meet up. They're going to do this business deal and with this whole fashion show shit. And she's saying, well, shit, it shouldn't be anything wrong with me working with you, because when it comes to business, Tierra Marie didn't feel like it was anything wrong with her handling business with Young Bird when me and him was beefing. So now that you and her are beefing and I decided to do business with you, it's the same shit. It's the same shit. It's the same shit she did, so we're going to be cool with it. So they get to this fashion show, and it's like Princess and Nikki and Hazel just all jump pretty much Tierra Marie, not physically, but just bombarding her with all these attacks and stuff. And Hazel keeps throwing out this whole Young Bird, you sucked his dick in the alley. And what else was she saying? You was friends with Masika when me and her was not cool or whatever. I'm just like, excuse me. I never believed that whole Young Bird story, because that just sounds outrageous and ridiculous. I don't even see that happening. So I think she just wanted to believe that to be true just so she could be mad, honestly. But she's throwing out all these accusations and how he was never really a friend. Now, she did have the point to where she kind of does fight every single person she comes in contact with. Tierra doesn't have very many friends. I think she's just friends with Moniece. I think Moniece is the only person. Well, Moniece and April, I think, are the only people who don't have a beef with Tierra and Nia. But then again, Nia's not very smart. She may not even realize she has beef. Anyways, but yeah, that's pretty much how the episode ended. Tierra Marie and Hazel and them and Nikki all fighting and shit. It was kind of like, meh. Rehashing old shit. I'm just like, why? What are we doing? What the fuck? But anyways, that was the episode. I know it was like a jumbled mess, but I still made the best of it that I could. Just because I was really kind of watching this and doing something else at the same time. But I think I pretty much caught the gist of it. If you liked the video, make sure you guys comment and subscribe. Tell me what you thought about the episode. Tell me what you thought about the fuck shit that occurred in this week's episode of Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. I'll be discussing it with you guys in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Like, share, subscribe.
Washington.